right. Tell him he can click that link now. I think it's just ready to go. Okay, I think we're almost there. You ready, Miss Smith?
Good morning. I'm here. I'm ready.
Okay, all right. I think everybody's unmuted. All right. Okay, we're going to go on the record here in White Circuit Court. This cause number 91 Caesar 1 1408 JP 45. That's in reference to the paternity of Maya Holloway. All right. With us today, we have the mother, Mallory Moseley. Is that right? Miss Moseley, you're down there? All right. Or over
Yes,
there.
Your Honor.
Along with your attorney, Miss Cynthia Phillips Smith. And we have the father, Tyler Holloway. Tyler's there as well. All right. If anybody has any objections to this hearing being held remotely, please raise your hand or let me know right now. All right. Couple of items here, as noted in the back. Supreme Court says you're not allowed to record this, whether audio by means of audio or visual means. I'm going to allow everybody to give their opportunity to speak. Traditional court rules still apply. Traditionally, if somebody is speaking, it's very hard on Zoom. So if you have something you want to say, go ahead and raise your hand and I'll make sure that I document, or I'll keep notes and make sure that I come back to you and allow you to say what you want. I'll allow everybody to speak. This is being pursuant to the Indiana Supreme Court order. This is being televised live on YouTube for public access purposes. Okay. All right. Looks like we have a motion filed by father requesting for some type of visitation. We set it for a hearing. We've had a continuance and also a request to have this held by Zoom, which was granted, obviously. All right. So, Father, you have filed with this court a motion to enforce or somehow have visitations. Is that correct?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Here's the easiest thing I'm going to do. You're going to go first. So I'm going to put you under oath and allow you to say what you want to say. Okay. So if you'll please raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the evidence or testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Let's start with the easy stuff. Go ahead and state your name for us.
Tyler Holloway.
And Mr. Holloway, where do you currently reside?
11037 First Street, Fair Oaks, Indiana.
Okay. And you are the father of of Maya.
Yes, sir.
And it looks like previously there was an order that you have supervised visits every Sunday from 4 to 8 p.m., right?
Yes.
All right. So what are you wanting to change today?
I don't want the supervised visitations. I've been through Crown Counseling, through DFS. I I've done all the counseling I've needed. I've graduated the classes that I've been told that I needed to do. With these supervised visitations, I tried it. While I was there trying to talk to Maya, I was told not to say things like I'm her dad. I don't feel that that's a comfortable environment for me, or being told those things as the father of my daughter. I didn't feel comfortable in that situation being in her home. I felt that she had power over me because I was in her home. I mean, I've done all my classes. Like I said, I went up to Crown Council through DFS.
All right, tell me what those are.
They were like a self-mannered class, how to handle different situations.
Where did you take these?
Crown Point, Crown Counseling.
And you say DFS, does that mean the Department of Family Services, or
Yes.
did somebody order you to take those?
Yes.
Who?
There was a situation about a year ago. Well, it was over a year ago, but I was through the classes for, I think it was 7 months. I did these classes every Sunday, and they were through the courts in Jasper County.
Why? What court and why did they order you to do this?
My son was taken from me.
So you have a chins proceeding in Jasper County?
No, it's all finalized. It's all.
But you did have?
Yes, I got my son back.
All right. Who told you that you can't say that you're the father?
Mallory told me that in her living room at her mother's house.
When's the last time you had a visit with her, with the daughter?
I couldn't. I don't know. It's been so long ago. And
Give me a rough time frame.
it's been years. It's not like it's been weeks. I got as the paper says there, whether it had been a drunk call or not, but Justin asked me if I wanted to see my daughter. Well, he told me not to say nothing. A couple weeks went by. I asked Mallory about it, and stuff just hit the fan again. So, this is the best I can do. I thought we were adults.
So why haven't you had visits? You have the court order from roughly 2015, which was, last time Miss Eberhardt was her attorney, 2018 or something like that you were to have those visits. Why were you not having those visits?
It's like I didn't feel comfortable in that situation.
Well, why didn't you ask the court for another hearing? Why are you waiting so long to have those visits with your daughter?
I guess there's no really excuse for it.
Okay. So give me, I need to know roughly when was your last visit that you had with your daughter?
I don't
know more than I do.
I don't have it written down.
Okay, go back in your memory. You got to help me. I need something.
When was the last court date that we had here? I'm here with a hat and face mask. I don't have no documents here to help me out here. Because it had been the weekend after that. Because it was started right after.
Well, you guys did some child support modifications in 2018.
Your Honor.
Okay, hold on.
Yeah.
All right, looks like we have an order from August 2015 that an agreement was made that you guys would have the visits at those times. So 2015. That the last time you believe you've had a visit?
Yeah.
Was that supervised?
Yes. And that's when I was told that I couldn't tell her that I was her dad.
All right. Ms. Smith, any questions you have for Mr. Holloway?
I do, thank you.
Go ahead.
This is Cindy Smith, Mr. Holloway, your, the mother of your child's attorney. I have a few questions for you. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I can.
All right. This Chin's case that you testified to in Jasper County, when was the date of the removal of the child? When was the child removed from your care?
Well, I don't have any documentations here with me. I brought a hat and my face mask, but it's already closed. It's a closed case.
I'm asking when the child was removed. Was it yesterday, last week, a month ago? What
No,
time?
it was over a year ago.
So
Case
the
is
Chin,
closed.
the child was removed from your care about a year ago, would you say?
Over a year ago.
Sometime in 2019?
18, 19.
And what were the allegations that caused the child to be removed from your care?
Drugs were found in the home.
The home where you were living?
Yes, ma'am.
And what kind of drugs were found in the home?
I never received any paperwork. The cops took it from us.
Well, it was your home, right? You were living
No,
there?
it was my mom's. My mom actually turned the stuff in.
Okay, you were living with your mother and drugs were found in your home where you live with your mother?
Yeah.
Okay, and what kind of drugs were in the home?
If I knew, I could tell you. I just told you my mom took and gave them to the police herself.
Okay, who owned the drugs? Who did they belong to?
At the time, they were my ex-wives.
And what was her name?
Maria Perez.
And you don't know what kind of drugs Miss Perez was using while you're living in a home with her?
No, because I didn't use those drugs.
You have some, you know.
I failed
Let's
for
see.
marijuana.
Okay, but what drugs was Miss Perez using?
I don't know.
You went through a whole you mean to tell this court that you went through a whole Chin's case and you don't know what drugs were found in the home?
I mean, the word's got like 15 letters. I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm not a pharmacist. I work on heavy machinery. I
Okay.
don't know the word of it. Started with an M and ended with, it had X, Y, Z in it even. I don't know the name of it. Not a pharmacist.
And then, how old was that child?
He would have been 1.
And does he live back with you and the mother now?
Yes, he does.
And the two of you are still together?
We are back together. Yes.
Where do you work?
I work for Watkins Associates,
Where's that located?
Fair Oaks, Indiana.
What is Watkins Associates?
Heavy machinery operator.
You were actually a W-2 employee there?
Yes, ma'am.
When's the last time you paid any child support in this case?
Would have been, my last check was written out on the 6th.
So is there a garnishment under your current check?
Yes, ma'am.
And prior to that, you hadn't made any payment for about 2 years. Would you say that's accurate?
No, because it's been coming out of my unemployment through all this COVID.
Okay, so how long had it been before the COVID unemployment that you'd made a child support payment?
I'm not clear on that. I don't know. I pay what I can.
And then under that prior order that the judge just referenced for supervised parenting time, how many of those supervised parenting time sessions did you exercise?
1 time.
And that was it?
Yep.
And then you just walked away from it?
Yeah.
And my notes show that the mother reports that was 6 years ago. Does that sound accurate?
Yeah.
I don't have any more cross, Judge.
So what do you want the court to do, Mr. Holloway? You haven't seen your daughter in almost 6 years. What do you want the court to do?
I've stepped up. Like I said, I went through all those classes, did all them classes I had to. It made me realize what life is about.
Mhm.
Shit that I used to do for fun, it's not there for fun no more. My fun now is go out back, play with my son, roll around the front room with my daughter.
Uh-huh.
That's what life's about right now. And, I tried going to Mallory and, there again through text, I wasn't nothing but a piece of shit. What was it? A deadbeat father. That's the kind of things that she texted me just here recently. And that's why I'm in here now. You
Okay.
know, I mean, if we're going to have supervised visitations at her house, I mean, a dad being called that, I mean, how big am I supposed to feel? You know what I'm saying?
So let me tell you how I do this in my court, all right? You've gone a long time without having a visit with your daughter. I
I'd be
am not
willing
going to
to,
open the door. I'm not going to open the door and allow you to have unlimited visits with your child that you haven't seen in
Correct.
6 years, all right? I
correct.
make people take baby steps.
And
One of those baby steps is, I can't take away your visits. Supreme Court will smack me down. But I can say those need to be supervised so that you can get reacquainted with your daughter who you've not seen in 5 to 6 years, right?
correct.
So if you're not happy with Mallory supervising the visits, who do you suggest the court should say supervises your visits?
Well, with what we did with my son, in order to get him back in my custody, we went through help at home.
Yep. Is that up in Rensselaer or where is that?
Yes, yes, it is. I mean,
They're
I'm
a
all
third
about
party
it.
facilitator?
Yes, they are.
Do they cost?
That I'm not, I did not pay anything, but I mean, I guess if we can try to figure it out, I mean, if it does, I mean, I'm not going to tell you I'm not going to pay for it. You know, I didn't drive all the way over here, lose a day of work just to, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if it costs, I mean, she's my daughter. I'll go to the end of the field for her.
What's the name again of the place? Home what? What was it?
Help at home.
Help at Home, sorry.
I mean, we
Ms.
went to,
Smith, are you familiar with that agency up there?
I've not heard of that one. That must be a DCS contracted and service provider that Jasper County contracted with. I'm just guessing that.
no,
Yeah,
they
that's
help,
what
they
I-
help out, like mentally challenged people. I mean, it's like a family acquainted business, you know?
Okay.
I mean, there was a lady that was with me the whole entire time. You know, the only time that she wasn't, you know, if we had to use the restroom, wash her hands, you know, it's not like she was sitting there breathing down my neck. Well, what are you
If
doing?
they can't do it, who else do you suggest to supervise the visits?
I mean, is there a way that if she comes, I don't know. I mean, I just want to start seeing her. I mean,
I understand.
times
You
have
got to come to
changed
court
with
with
me.
solutions though sometimes too.
Times have changed with me. You know, I've grown up. And like I said, you know, I've realized that I have done wrong. But I mean, everybody deserves a second chance. And here I am, you know, trying to make up for that. I mean, I ain't going to make up for the time lost, but
No,
I mean,
that's between you and your daughter. She'll
Right.
remember that whether she invites you to her wedding or not, you know, so that's between you and her. What I'm here to do is to start those steps so that you can have at some point in time, I don't know how long it'll be, unsupervised visits with your daughter. But right now, I'm not going to allow a 5-year window to not mean something, right?
right.
So I'm inclined to reinforce your supervised visits on Sundays from 4 to 8 p.m. But, you know, I also need some other names that might be available to supervise. Let me ask Ms. Smith if she has any input on who may supervise the visit.
When I looked at this case, if I was looking more of a therapeutic visitation because the child doesn't know who he is, you know, usually after a 6-year absence, not just someone to sit in a room, but someone who, you know, conduct a therapeutic, you know, child and family partners here in Lafayette conduct a therapeutic reunification, because this is going to, and there's two things that I look at when I have a case like this. One, the child doesn't know who he is, calls someone else dad now. It's going to be very confusing, and therapy assists with that. And then number two, what I don't want for this child is for him to come in, do it once, and then never do it again. You know, someone who, you know, can give him education about the importance of seeing this through. Because, you know, if he comes in once and he leaves again, more damage. Episodic visitation will not be. So child and family partners here in Lafayette, if he wants to pay for that, they can do therapeutic visitations with him. He says he doesn't like the mother doing it, so.
I'd like to try to keep it kind of close to both of us. You know, I work Monday morning, you know, I got to be at work 6 o'clock in the morning, 8 o'clock getting home from Lafayette on their time, because they're going to probably work off of their time. I mean, yeah, it's 7 o'clock my time, but calculating in the drive, me getting back home, having to do my thing, get washed up, go to bed, eat dinner. I mean, that's kind of cutting it late, drive clear down to Lafayette.
Ms. Smith, where's mom live?
I have your address as Wolcott, Indiana. Is that correct, Mallory?
Yes, it is.
Okay. Thank you.
So actually, Lafayette is kind of out of way for both
Right.
parties in a sense.
Yeah, and I'm not familiar with their resources there in Monticello. If I know you have a Wabash Valley, you used to have a Wabash Valley office there in Monticello. I don't know if is it still open?
There's one in
It
this.
is, but I'm not sure. Go ahead, Miss Moseley.
Lafayette really isn't far from me at all. I work out of Lafayette anyways, and it's straight interstate, so it's only like 25, 30 minutes from me. It's not that much further from me than Monticello.
I had some individuals who went to the Wabash, I think they call themselves Valley Oaks now,
Yeah.
in Monticello, you know, and they had some supervised parenting there in Monticello too. There was a caseworker there who helped them, but I don't know if that's open with COVID in Monticello. I don't know.
I think our better options based on where dad lives and where mom lives is either Rensselaer or Lafayette. I mean, it would be a no fun drive from Fair Oaks to Monticello. Wouldn't be, that's not too far from Rensselaer.
I know there's a Valley Oaks or something there in Rensselaer.
Yeah.
I mean, Wolcott from Rensselaer's 15.
Dad, are you, what about if we change the times from 12 to 4 on Sundays?
I mean, if that's what we have to do, that's what we have to do. I mean, I'm
Ms.
just,
Smith, does your client have anything going on from 12 to 4 that you're aware of?
Mallory, if the judge changes the time, and of course, I don't know if the judge is going to enter an order that's depending on when we'll have to have somewhat flexibility depending on when the service provider can be available. We can't write it in stone because they may
Right.
not be, we'll have to see.
I work Monday through Friday, and I can, with my job as I do hospice nursing, and so I can pretty much make flexibility within that, and I don't work on the weekends.
Okay, thanks. So we'll have to have some flexibility, you understand, because we don't know when the service providers, depending on what the judge decides, we don't know when they're going to be available.
Mm-hmm.
right, they're probably not going to be open on a Sunday. So I mean,
Yes, I have several
oh,
clients.
are they?
Yeah, I get several
Yeah.
clients
Okay.
with supervised training time on Saturdays and Sundays.
Okay.
Yeah. Because everybody works through the weeks and we gotta
Sure.
deal with that. Anything else, Dad?
No, I mean, that's where I'm at. I want to show you guys and Mallory and Maya herself. I'm not the guy to sit in the back of the room his whole life. She needs me. Her siblings need her.
All right. Ms. Smith, anything on behalf of your client?
Yes, if I could ask her some questions. Mallory, can you hear me? Or do we swear or
Yeah.
not swear?
Yeah. Mallory, please raise your right hand. You solemnly swear or affirm under the penalties of perjury that the evidence or testimony you're about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Go ahead, Ms. Smith.
Please state your name.
Mallory Moseley.
And do you live at 413? You don't have a protective order against the father of your child, is that correct? Is there a
That's
protective order?
correct.
Is there
No,
one?
there's not.
Okay,
No.
before I give your address, I want to make sure. Do you live at 413 South Burke Street in Wolcott?
Yes, I do.
All right. And are you the mother of your daughter in this case, who I have down as Maya, M-Y-A-H? Is that correct?
Yes.
And she was born on 12/30/2013.
Yes.
And since her birth, has she been in your care, your custody?
Yes.
And when is the last time the father visited? He could not give us a specific time, but I think he said that he only went to one supervised parenting time that would have occurred after that order that the judge referenced in 2015.
He went to one supervised parenting time at my house and that was the first order. And then he took me back because he said he didn't feel comfortable. And so the judge redid the location. And so we were supposed to meet at McDonald's every Sunday from 4 to 8. And I don't think he ever he never showed the one visit for that. The only one he did is when it was at my house. And then when we redid when he took me back and said he didn't feel comfortable with me or my mom supervising, that's when they moved it to Remington McDonald's from 4 to 8. And he never showed up I went every Sunday for 9 to 10 months and waited 15 minutes per the parenting guideline, got a receipt that I was there. I bought like a Coke, and he had never showed up to a single one.
So he is correct. It was just one supervised at your house then shortly after the order was entered in 2015.
Yes.
Does this child know that he's the father?
No.
Is she calling someone else dad right now?
Yes. My boyfriend of 3 years.
And are you asking the court to enter some kind of therapeutic parenting time, someone to assist her to deal with this?
Yes. It just, as a mom, and I understand that Tyler's saying that he's changed and he wants to do better, and that is great, and I hope that's true. But as a mom, it's worrisome because she's only ever known one parent, and then in the past 3 years introduced to another dad, and I just don't want that to emotionally traumatize her to have to deal with it. So I would appreciate that.
What kind of child is she? Does she have any special needs or emotional things or anything like that?
No, she doesn't have any special needs, but or she can be pretty emotional though. Change is not always been the easiest for her.
Okay. And are you asking the judge order him to pay the cost of this, obviously?
Yes.
And when's the last time you got a child support payment? Do you remember?
Honestly, this sounds horrible, but I don't check my bank account as often as I should. So I went recently to the White County clerk or the child support office to get it printed out. And I haven't checked my bank account if he just recently got a job. The last time I was aware, when I went there about 3 to 4 weeks ago, they said he was still unemployed and I was getting part of the child support payment from that. But prior to that, there was years that I didn't get anything.
Anything else you want the judge to know about this situation with your daughter and him resuming some parenting time? Anything else that you think is important?
I don't believe so. The one thing that I feel is important, just for me to clarify, I know Tyler was saying that he was texting me and he had messaged me on Facebook, and I was very persistent because our first court order stated that he was supposed to send me an email address, and that's how we were supposed to communicate because he didn't have a phone at the time, all the way back in 2015. And so he was supposed to send me an email within like a week, and he never did. And so our court orders had said that that's how we were going to communicate with each other. And so when he had messaged me a few months ago on Facebook, I did not call him a deadbeat or things like that I recall. Maybe I did, but I was also very heated, as a mom can get sometimes, and I know I need to work on that myself. But I was very persistent on we need to follow the court orders because that's in the best interest of Maya. Everything that they put in place is for the best interest of Maya, and it's not about him and I, it's about her. And so I just wanted to clarify that I was just not ignoring multiple texts all the time from him, because that was the only contact we've had in years.
Anything else?
No.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
Okay, Madam Reporter, can you bring me the calendar, please? All right. Any final things you want to say, Dad? I'll give you an opportunity.
Your Honor.
Okay. Dad, you're the one, I'm putting this on you, all right? This is on your shoulders. You went the 5 to 6 year period of time with the lack of visits with your daughter. So I'm going to put the work on you. I'm going to allow you to have your visits. They're going to be supervised. I agree, and I'm going to order that they need to be therapeutic in some nature. How old is Maya now?
She will be 7 on December 30th.
Okay, so if the last time you saw her was at least 5 years ago, then she was almost 2, and she probably doesn't remember any of that. So therefore, these visits do need to be therapeutic in nature so that you can reacquaint yourself and she can reacquaint herself with her biological father, and you can reacquaint yourself with your daughter. Okay? These need to be therapeutic in nature so that certain things are taken in steps for her, whether it is eventually if she finds out and wants to know and wants to call you dad, or that she can trust that she can have a visit with you and wrestle around with her, right? So there's a lot of things going on, as well as what to talk about. You guys haven't seen each other for 5 years, so it's hard all of a sudden now to, what are we going to talk about, right? It's very difficult. So I'm going to allow you to work on the location. That can be, you can see if the Help at Home does therapeutic visitations, the Child Family Partners in Lafayette does them. You can find an agency that's close to both of you guys that will do these visits. I want these to be 4-hour visits on a weekend, preferably on a Sunday. Understanding that she lives in Wolcott, you live in Fair Oaks, which is why I kind of state that Rensselaer is probably a mutually good place. Even they have a Valley Oaks and Rensselaer if they can help with that as well. You may reach out to the Department of Family Services that you worked with before. They may know of if this place does those therapeutic type visits, which traditionally Department of Child Services does those type of visits as well. But because it was you that chose not to have these visits for a while, I'm going to put it on you. I'm going to make you step up and you figure these out. You get it in place. You're going to pay for them until we figure out and hopefully at some point in time say you don't need therapeutic visits. You don't need supervised visits. You get time. And then our goal is to get you to the Indiana Parenting Time Guidelines every other weekend, one night throughout the week. That's our goal. But there's no way we can go straight there. There's no way we're going to get there in 3 months. And I really don't see that getting there in 6 months, right? Just as I see all these cases go through me, okay? I'm going to admonish both of you not to disparage or talk bad about either against each other in the presence of the child, nor even do it through text messages, right? You guys can communicate through text message or through email or messaging or some type of electronic means about the child and drop-offs and pickups and how the visits went and stuff like that. You guys don't need to talk about who's who with whoever now, who's dating who's a deadbeat dad, who's a deadbeat mom, any of those type of things. That doesn't help the cause, right? So now you guys have been, broken up for a long, long time. You guys have to learn to do some co-parenting. And with that as said as well, because of the relationship there, I'm going to order both of you to do the co-parenting online course. It's free. It's through the uptoparents.org. This will be in the court order. You'll get a certificate of completion. It's going to look like this. You're going to file that with the court in this proceeding, okay? That's my completion. I did the course, right? That's me. I did it. That way I can tell you guys. It takes a little time, but it's not hard. What it does is it helps you guys how to communicate with each other, dealing with a child, and you guys are no longer together, right? So it's just more of things that we say, things that we may think about when we're talking to our daughter, things that she may be thinking about, and how do we deal with that if she says something off the wall and catches you off guard? Holy crap, it just helps with communications with everything, okay? And in the same time, then I want to set a quick review hearing. We can do that by telephonic means or Zoom means, if necessary, in about 3 months, because I want to make sure that Dad has moved along. You've done what you've been ordered to do, because I'm doing this for the daughter now, right? Because you didn't want to do it how many years ago? That's not fair to her. So I'm doing this for her. I'm going to have a review hearing so that I can pull you back in and say, what have you done, right? If you really want to step up, as you say you do, then you'll have a lot of great information for us. And hopefully you'll be able to say, hey, I've had this many visits and they went well. And oh, by the way, I'm telling you right now, you might want to start taking notes, okay? It's going to help you out a lot, Dad. Take notes of the days and visits and what happened. Communication, days and visits, okay? All right, Miss Smith, if we look around the second or the last week of January.
I have the 20th, the 21st, 22nd, 27th available all day.
The 27th?
Yep, I'm available all day.
Okay. Do we want to do, let's see. If we do it bright and early in the morning as we can, which we could probably do an 8:30, just review hearing on this. That won't take long. That's a Wednesday, Mr. Holloway, 8:30 Eastern time, which is our time. Is that okay with you?
Yes.
All right. I can do the same thing. I can schedule this to be via Zoom, as the Supreme Court just ordered last week, that everything can be continued to July of 2021. So if you request, then you don't have to come here to Monticello, and I can send you a link. Do you have the means either by a computer or an iPhone or something like that to be able to have the hearing?
Yes, I do.
Okay. All right. All right. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to schedule that review hearing for January 27th at 8:30 a.m. I expect some updates. I expect some progress on your behalf, to tell her mom, her attorney, and me how things have gone along and what you've done. Okay.
Okay.
Anything else you feel I didn't cover, Miss Smith?
No, thank you. That's it.
Okay. All right. And I think, did you give us your current address as soon as we started, Mr. Holloway? I forget.
Yes, I did. I can
Okay,
give it to
all
you
right.
again if you got a pen and paper.
Yep. A Madam Reporter wrote it down, I'm guaranteed. I just couldn't remember if I'd asked that one of the first questions. So,
Okay.
okay, we'll get this order sent out to you guys. Dad, get started on trying to find a location, central location for both of you to get the therapeutic visits started. Get those started. Start doing your visits. Do we not have an income withholding order for your current employer?
Yeah, it comes right out of my check. That's why I'm confused.
Okay.
I think the 4D office is in this case as far as child support.
Yeah.
And so I think they administratively did one that we don't see here in the file.
That's what I was looking for. Okay, I don't see one since last year or
I think
2018.
I think they administratively put one in place
Okay.
recently.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a check out in the truck. I mean, it says it right on there that it's came
Okay,
out.
that's fine. Well, the last employer we had was GRG Auto Repair in Rensselaer.
No.
That's the income withholding order we have. Okay, we'll get this sent out to you guys, and we wish you guys good luck, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yep.